And so it did. It took me a while to get back to a baseline that was not chaos.
Mm,
But you know, through a lot of grace and compassion and just reminding myself, hey, if you keep being mean to yourself, you're not gonna come out of it. And
mm.
then
Welcome to Healing Conversations podcast.
Podcast.
Yes. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to Healing Conversations podcast.
Podcast.
As you know, this is your space we come to and we talk all things expansion, healing, growth, and we share where we are on our journey. And that's the most organic, authentic way of healing through conversation because what you talk about, you feel, what you feel, you release. And once it's released, you create space for expansion and growth. So I'm
Yes,
excited, Sister Angelique.
yes. And this is a community conversation. This is a dialogue. I know you're going to be listening to us and our wonderful guests today, and there's going to be lots of gems that are dropped, lots of points that are made, lots of things that are reflecting in your own life. But don't just listen. Send us a DM, make a comment, be a part of the conversation. You can hit us up on Instagram at Raymel Bentley or me at VZ Spaces and let us know how this conversation is impacting you, what is helping you to unpack, and just what it's doing for you in your life and how things are resonating with you. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this conversation today. This is a new friend in our ethers, and they have been a powerful voice for being a healthy human, which is a term that I had never heard before I met them. And I was like, I really like that because it really is a mindset and a commitment to yourself to be a better person without making it like better or worse. It's a really good check in for yourself to say, am I being healthy? Am I being beneficial? Is this good for me the way that I'm acting, thinking, relating to people? And I'm just really grateful to have them here and have this conversation today. And yeah, so today we're welcoming Spencer. Would,
hello.
would you like to introduce yourself real quick before we jump in?
Oh, well, I am Spencer, non-binary human, and working every day on my healthy healing journey and reminding myself that healing is not linear, y'all.
Hmm,
I think that's my big thing.
yeah,
Yes,
lovely,
yes.
lovely. Thank
Well,
you.
welcome, Spencer. And we were speaking prior to pressing the record button. And I'm so honored and grateful for this time that we will have with you, Spencer, because I feel like just witnessing you in spaces that we are collectively in and just seeing how each time you're just letting your voice be heard, you're letting your light be felt, and you're
Mm,
letting your love be just experienced through what you share, how you show up. And I love your authenticity and how you're just unapologetically you. And I love that about you. So I'm so honored and grateful to have you on and to be in this conversation today.
mhm.
Oh, me too. I admire y'all so much just watching y'all's lives and just watching y'all's stories on Instagram. Like that they pick my heart up when it is sad. And
Mm.
Mm,
as far as me, I can never be anybody other than myself. I was for a long time, but it was not good because I
mm,
was not actually me. I was just whoever people wanted me to be. And, you know, I'm just authentically a little weirdo.
Mm.
Listen, claim it. Weirdos
We
rise.
call that in another community that we, Sister Angelique and I are both in, we call that unicorns.
Hmm.
So that weirdo that we often feel like we are, we're just unicorns that don't
Oh,
we stand out in a world full of auto repeat. So embrace the unicorn that you
oh, 100%. I Friday the 13th was last week, and I actually got a unicorn tattoo on my arm.
I
Oh
So,
wow. Talk
so
about
I'm
alignment.
I'm literally embracing the unicorn.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a juicy conversation, and I feel like Sis Angelique said, it's going to be very supportive for us. And I feel like that riffle is going to go out into the collective and support others through today's conversation. Today, we're going to talk about navigating through life as life, and things, and people. And how are we giving ourselves that grace and space to navigate through it from a place of empowerment and not being victimized by it? And I just want to share for me, there's been a lot of things that I've been personally in navigation of relocating homes, and just in the process of that discomfort and a lot that I didn't know would come up from a move. And I would think at times, like, people move all the time and it's nothing. Why is this so heavy for you? Why is this such a it has a big impact on you? And there's been a lot of old things coming up for me that in my childhood there wasn't stability. We didn't have like just set places. So as an adult, as a child, I promised myself I wouldn't repeat that. So as an adult, I didn't want that to be my reality. So I just stayed in spaces to really feel comfortable and stable. But I realized that there's a lot of things that you accumulate physically, emotionally, mentally that are connected to just things that we experience. And it's just been a lot coming up for me. So I've been in navigating the emotions, giving myself time to honor and process and really be with navigating the old patterns and stories that have been coming up because there's so much that has been coming up for me. And also just navigating life in the midst of it because life doesn't stop because you're experiencing a certain thing. It continues to flow and go. And how am I not getting lost in being the victim of what I'm experiencing? How I'm not getting lost in describing the experience from a space of complaint or worry or doubt or fear, and allowing myself just to be open, be present, and curious about how things are unfolding in this experience. So for me, that's just a quick share of like just where I'm at in the relations to the today's conversation. Y'all, it ain't easy. It ain't easy when you are in a space of discomfort and we have a tendency to unconsciously fall into an old survival habit, an old belief system, and a old way of just being comfortable in the discomfort.
Mm,
So a lot of times it'll be easy to stay and this is who I am, stay and this is what I know, stay and this is just how I do it and what I do. And that's where there's no growth, there's stagnation. So as the navigating for me, having the awareness, utilizing my power of choice, and also giving myself compassion if I do fall back, allowing myself that space to get up and move forward. So I'll end it there.
mm. Yes. I want to just firstly thank you for your openness and your vulnerability. This is Healing Conversations. This is a space for all of us, not just for the audience. And for myself, I I wouldn't say I'm navigating anything too unexpected right now. However, there are different changes that are taking place. And as per recording this, I am still freshly in my entrepreneurial journey of things. And it's interesting to think about, okay, I'm here, I have this service, I know that it's valuable, and I've been doing different workshops and things and getting good feedback. I'm working on an online course and I'm making good progress with that. And, things are available and present, but there's still that little back of my mind, like Raymel was saying, those things that I used to fall back on and those old patterns and thoughts about like just go do this or go talk to this person or try to make things happen and force stuff to happen. But I am learning to give myself that grace as I am navigating and moving with the flow of things. And I have experienced that when I do settle into the trust, whatever unexpected things do come up, I am able to navigate them with more clarity and certainty. And it is a challenging lesson, because we are built to survive whatever environments that we grew up in. That's how our brains are programmed. And when we become adults, we have the autonomy and the agency to make changes as we see fit. But it's not an automatic change. It does take work. It takes repetition. It takes intentionality. So yeah, I really am aware of that in my own life as far as it goes with repeating things or being aware of not repeating them. But like you said, if I do have that grace with myself, but yeah. Yeah. What's coming up for you, Spencer?
For me, just navigating the unknown. It's like, I feel like that's my life right now in a sense because I've been working on becoming a healthy human since 2021, and here it is 2026. And I feel like right now, some of my old patterns had come back for months. My trauma therapist went on maternity leave because she had a baby, and that just blew my world up, let me tell you. And I was not expecting to feel that way. And so it did. It took me a while to get back to a baseline that was not chaos. But through a lot of grace and compassion and just reminding myself, hey, if you keep being mean to yourself, you're not gonna come out of it. And then lovely friends who want to see me succeed, and that helps so much. Just like having accountability that my friends didn't know was accountability to get back on the horse. And I was just like, that's what I really needed. And you didn't even know. So thank you so much. And I was talking to my friend. Well, technically, I was screaming my big feelings because, sometimes you just got to scream your big feelings at people, not towards them, but. And I was just like, I need an accountability partner. I can't stand doing all this alone 24/7. And kid you not, within a few days, Lisa literally texted me and was like, do you want to be accountability partner for self-care while we're doing train the trainer. I was like, oh, thank you, universe, for hearing my screams.
Yes. Mm.
Mm. I love that. I love what you shared in general, but I love that last piece of how you really demanded what you wanted. I don't even want to
Mm.
say what you needed, but what you wanted, and it came 48 hours later. And that's just the beautiful part of that's a manifestation, but it's more a realization that we hold the power. Because if we really claim what we want, it comes. But we only could claim what we want from a place of empowerment when we know who we are. And when we know who we are, when we navigate through life, we now have a new way of showing up, not being defeated by life. I love that you shared your, in a sense, like unknown navigation of having that support. And I want to just celebrate you for having a trauma therapist because
Mhm.
not many people have those spaces where they're really doing the work. We live in a time where people say, I'm on my healing journey, but their healing journey consists of an audible book, a YouTube clip, a podcast that they're listening to, but they're not in the work. And I love, Spencer, that you're in the work because that supports your navigational system
Mhm.
of like knowing that you have the tools to deal with the things and different circumstances will cause or call for different tools that we'll need and they may hit us in a little heavier, lighter, just depends on what it is type of way. But knowing that you have that support and even when you didn't have that support, because I remember that you were sharing a space that we're in together, Trauma Drama with Leah Abraham, and leaning into those spaces to give you the support that you didn't have in the immediate time, but knowing that once again, you had the different tools. So that will only come from you saying yes in 2021 and not giving up
Yeah.
because this journey it's not for the faint and a lot of people started the race but they gave up midway through because they realized it takes stamina, it takes
Mhm.
training, it takes preparation and repetition, and a lot of people they would say, oh, it's too much, let me go back to my YouTube, let me go back to my Audible book, let me tell you what I've heard but not show you what I've done.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Let me tell you, like, I didn't even realize that I was getting a trauma therapist whenever I got a trauma therapist. It was actually through a nonprofit organization called Out Youth that help queer and trans people with like different needs around Austin, including free therapy. And that was the first time I ever heard of trauma therapy because I've had like, regular talk based therapy, but I'm a person that has 10 out of 10 on the ACEs assessment. So it worked a little bit, but then when I started Googling what my therapist was doing, and that's when I learned about ACEs, y'all.
Mhm.
That and that changed my life. And there's this lady named Dr. Taylor, and I followed her because her thing is survivors overcoming silence. And she just kept saying, oh, yeah, add all these people. And Dr. Tori was one of them. And for months and months I was just like in on her live, and then she just kept saying join our community, and then I added Lisa because I loved her lattes for Lisa, and that's where I saw you for the first time, Angelique, and I was just like there may be something to this, and then
Mhm.
I remember telling my trauma therapist, like, I need people in my corner that's just not me and my trauma therapist, because most of the people in my life are not on their healing journey. So it can be kind of isolating
Yeah.
Mm.
when you're the only one. And then I went to trauma drama, and I just listened in until Motivational Monday with Jorge, and he requested me to speak, and that was the first time I spoke in any of the spaces. So
Mm.
it was really gradual, because I'm a person, like, I have stage fright. I don't like talking to people like in large groups. Like, I can do one-on-one or one-on-two, but large groups, I always get like cold feet. My heart starts palpitating. I want to like run away, right? But I got to hear all of y'all for all those weeks, and I slowly started talking. And now in Trauma Drama, that's the biggest platform that I have been a part of so far. So it's a lot of baby steps, and I'm always screaming. Apparently, that's a pattern for me. Screaming that I want to just give up, because it's hard. It is hard to love yourself. It is hard to care about every part of you that ever got stuck in all the trauma. But it's worth it in the end, because I will say, for me, I uh, I didn't speak to my mom for a few years, because she was not supportive of my transitioning. And so it just kind of put a full stop in on our relationship. And then for like a couple of years, she would impose herself on me to be like, I miss you, to be with my sister. But through all this work, I've seen my mom 3 times this year. I'm able to like have conversations with her, gently correct her,
Mm.
and and if she just goes off the rails a little too much, I just state my piece and walk away, you know, and it's really like help her see that like I am a whole different person now, and I am committed to, helping people become a healthy human. And I just want all my family to do that too, and everyone else in the whole world, so we can all have world peace. Y'all
Mm.
know that's the main goal. Ugh.
Mhm. Yeah, it is. Individual peace leading to world peace. Absolutely. I really love your spirit and your energy, Spencer. It really is refreshing, especially as someone who is trans and living in small town, and just navigating all of the different interest in intricate parts of your life that I don't even know about, but you're choosing to um, overcome all of the obstacles that would tell you, like, just be angry, just be toxic, just be self-loathing, and all of that's too hard. You're choosing to overcome all of that because that's something that you have a drive for. There's something in your spirit that's like, I know my life can be better. I know that I can be an example for the world to be more healthy human filled, you know.
Mm.
Um, I really love that. I really love that. And something that you said earlier that really struck me um, was, if you keep being mean to yourself, you won't come out of it. And then you also were mentioning your baby steps to, the progress that you've been making. And Raymella and I speak on that often, the importance of doing one little thing at a time, because so often it's presented to the world through social media and through mega corporate influencers and speakers and things of that nature, that you can just get this quick one conference with one program and your whole life will be transformed forever. All your money's gonna come, all your relationships are gonna be amazing, and it's just malarkey. Because it really is one small choice at a time. And that point you made about, if you keep being mean to yourself, you won't get out of it. That's something that I really had to ingrain within my beingness as well.